This video is designed to help support you in your role as not only a provider of a white glove service, but as an ambassador of the TVS brand. It will give you some practical tips to help ensure your safety and well-being, as well as that of the client.
tvs-scs provides a white glove service to its customers. This does not mean only delivering chairs and desks and then leaving site. The white glove service means TVS engineers are expected to assemble, demonstrate functionality and fit the product to the end user. This will have been made clear to you in the white glove training and sign off from Posturite. You should have access to telephone contact details and a contact name. Engineers are expected to call 1 hour in advance of attending. When you arrive on site, please ensure you ask for the contact detail listed on your Podfather job. Please make all possible attempts to speak with the correct contact on site, as the fitting activity is a key component of the white glove service. However, there may be occasions when the end user is not present and not available when you arrive at the delivery location. In these scenarios, please try to deliver to an alternative contact on site. You are still expected to assemble the chair and demonstrate all of the functionality of the product to the alternative contact, even if you cannot fit the product to the intended end user. When you arrive on site, please do not request that the end user assist you with the lifting of boxes, chairs or desks under any circumstances. Due to the nature of our customer's business, the end user may have an underlying health condition, such as a back or spinal issue, which could be made worse by any lifting. Even if the end user offers help with lifting, please politely decline. We cannot risk a scenario where the end user is injured during an installation. If the item you are assembling is too heavy, why not open the box in your vehicle and take the contents to the assembly point via multiple on-foot trips.
Please check your shoes before entering the end user's property. We want to avoid transferring any dirt onto the customer's flooring. Use your supplied cover shoes if required. Remain in the area designated for the chair or desk assembly. Avoid wandering around the property and try not to touch any items on site which are unrelated to the installation. Installations can cause lots of noise, especially if an electric screwdriver is used or when assembling a desk. It is advisable to pre-warn the end user of the possibility of excess noise. If you need to open a window for ventilation, please ask for permission from the end user and close this after you depart. As the face of TVS and also our customers, polite, empathetic and professional communication with end users continues to be of vital importance. However, do be mindful of being too informal or appearing over-friendly. Don't make any comments about the end user's appearance, occupation, personal situation, colleagues or family members. It's probably best to steer any conversations away from potentially divisive subjects such as politics or religion.
Of all of the guidance contained within this video, this section may be the most important for the customer, so please do pay attention. It is critical that TVS engineers do not offer any of their own opinion of the product whilst they are installing, setting up or communicating to the end user. The end user will have been assessed by one of the customer's trained assessors. If TVS engineers cast any doubt regarding the suitability of the chair or desk to the end user, This could lead to an expensive and time-consuming reordering process for the customer. Simply fit the chair or desk to the end user to the best of your ability, even if you can't complete the installation. You may also not be aware that end users have access to the engineer's Podfather closure notes, and as a result can read your comments. If you do have genuine concerns around the suitability of the product, do not include these in the Podfather closure notes. Instead, you can notify Posturite via the job form link in Instructions 2. You are permitted to detail any end user fitting concerns here. However, once again, and for the avoidance of any doubt, do not voice any product suitability concerns verbally or in the Podfather closure notes. If the customer voices genuine concerns about the product themselves, try not to validate their concerns or agree with them. Instead, request that they keep hold of the chair or desk and that they contact Posturite. Use the following statement as a guide. Your chair has been selected by a trained Posturite assessor. If you are not satisfied with the product, then please contact Posturite and you will be able to talk through your concerns with them. Also mention that if the chair is taken away, the lead time for a resolution will be significantly higher. Only accept to return the item if the end user is adamant that they cannot keep it on site. It is important in this scenario to make it absolutely clear in your closure notes that the end user has queried the suitability, not the engineer, such as the end user has stated the chair is too small, or the end user has stated they need a footstool. Here is a previous example where a TVS engineer has suggested that the product might not be suitable for an end user. In this case, the engineer should not have made a comment that the chair wasn't fit for purpose. He should not have included this in his closure notes or verbally mentioned it to the end user. Instead, this concern should have been included in the jot form only. Here is another example where a TVS engineer has suggested that the product might not be suitable for the end user. In this case, the engineer should not have made a comment that the chair was too small. Also, not all end users are assessed. He should have not included this in his closure notes or verbally mentioned this to the end user. Instead, this concern should have been included in the job form only.
If you experience any assembly issues with a chair or desk, you must contact the TVS Tech Support Desk. They will have the ability to reach out to the customer via an application called Signal and may be able to find a solution to your issue. This is important as Posturite look to reduce revisit scenarios. Please review the Posturite Assembly Issues Support Process doc in your engineer's shared drive / Google Drive for more details. Engineers must avoid physically touching the end user whilst fitting a chair or at any other time during the visit. If an end user becomes emotional or aggressive during an installation, try to remain calm and attempt to diffuse the situation. However, if you are concerned for your safety, please exit the site at the soonest opportunity. make a clear account of this incident in your closure notes and notify your controller. TVS will not tolerate aggressive behaviour to its engineers, and this will be immediately reported to our customer. TVS engineers are entitled to take lunch breaks during their working day. It would be advisable to take these well away and out of sight from an end user's property. Smoking in TVS vehicles is not permitted. If engineers are smokers, this must not be done at or immediately outside the end user's property. We would also recommend smoking outdoors to reduce the risk of tobacco odour remaining on engineers' clothing during an installation. Please avoid using the end user's bins for disposing of waste items such as cardboard and plastic. This waste material should be returned to your local depot and disposed of responsibly. Regardless of how well you interacted with the end user, do not try to store their contact details. Do not attempt to make contact with them after the installation. Any follow-up communication with the customer will be handled by the CSC desk. The end user's contact details have been provided to TVS for business purposes only, and any use of these which fall outside of the white glove service would be a breach of GDPR rules. We hope you found this video insightful, informative, and that it will help guide you through your future white glove deliveries. Thanks for watching.